Hello class, my name is Austin Krudelek, and this morning I'm going to be giving my commemorative speech on one of the most important and influential men in American military history. The man we're going to be discussing today is Carlos Hathcock, and he was the most deadly sniper in the Vietnam War. Now, in order to fully understand Carlos Hathcock and the man he was, we're going to take a look at a few important points. First is going to be his early life and what really molded him into the man that he was during the Vietnam War. Second, we're going to look at his direct experience in the Vietnam War. And third, we're going to look at his legacy, or what he left us after the Vietnam War. Alright, now the 1960s were a time period of change and a general movement in peace. There were some men and women who were not fortunate enough to share these views and beliefs, and these were the men and women in Vietnam. Now, what makes Carlos Hathcock special, you may ask? Well, in order for us to fully understand that, let's take a look at the beginning of his life. Carlos Hathcock was born to a World War I veteran in Little Rock, Arkansas. At a very, very young age, his father taught him about guns, hunting, and all those kind of things that were going to shape him into the sniper that he was going to become. When he was just a child, Carlos would play with his father's old military Mauser from World War I and play war games and cops and robbers and all things of that nature in the woods. And by age 10, he was actually firing live rounds hunting in the woods with a .22 caliber rifle. At 10 years old, putting meat on the table. This was just a precursor to the type of person he would be. Now, Carlos did all right in school, but he quickly picked up a trade. He was a welder, and then a carpenter, and a few other various odds and ends, but he always knew what he really wanted, and that was to be a United States Marine. There was only one thing in his way, and it was age. Well, at age 17, Carlos got his wish. 1 year early than the average 18 age of entering the military, Carlos's parents signed a waiver allowing him to join the most prestigious fighting force in the world, the United States Marine Corps. Now, in 1966, when Carlos enlisted, he was originally based in Hawaii. And what he did there was, training and, all those kind of things that a Marine does in garrison. But more importantly, he was on the Marine Corps shooting team, and this was going to be instrumental in the future for Carlos Hathcock. Now, he was on the shooting team, and he was winning competitions, tournaments, and he was just revered as an amazing shooter, eventually winning the highest tournament there is, the Wimbledon Cup. That was going to be important as well. Well, eventually Carlos got his chance, and he was off to Vietnam. But not as a sniper, as you may think. Carlos was first an MP, or military policeman, until they began having snipers in every Marine Corps unit, regardless of what it was, infantry, ground unit, whatever it may be. And they were picking these snipers to be molded by the best shooters in each unit. And obviously, with all of Carlos's wins and experience and just vast history of knowledge of shooting, he was chosen. And this was going to be great for the United States military, terrible for the Viet Cong. Carlos was known as the most amazing sniper. He had 93 confirmed kills, which was the most kills in Vietnam of all time, and numbers up to 400 unconfirmed. And the difference between the confirmed and unconfirmed, and why that number much more accurate at the 400 level, was that during the Vietnam War, the actual kill had to be confirmed by an officer. It couldn't be confirmed by the spotter or the shooter. So these numbers were massively skewed against reality. Well, Carlos, beyond just the sheer number of kills, it was the way he performed these kills. Carlos shot someone from 2,500 yards. That was the longest shot of all time, up until the year 2009, when a Canadian sniper beat him. But the major difference with the Canadian snipers, mind you, amazing shot of 2,700 yards, was the fact that he did it with modern technology, modern scopes, range finders, wind detectors, and all sorts of different measures. Carlos, on the other hand, had to do it with nothing but his eyes and his wit and his fundamental knowledge of shooting, which is just amazing and spectacular. Additionally, during the Vietnam War, the Viet Cong would place bounties on the heads of American military, ranging anywhere from a few dozen dollars up to a couple thousand, maybe $2,000 or $3,000. Carlos's bounty was astronomical at the time at $30,000. That was a fortune to a Viet Cong who would kill him. Unfortunately for them, and fortunately for us, they never did. They couldn't. They were never going to. Well, the only time they got even remotely close was when Carlos happened to be injured in an Amtrak accident when a roadside bomb blew up, burning him on 40% of his body. Now, Carlos stayed in the Marine Corps after that, but unfortunately, in 1974, Carlos was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Carlos did, however, stay in the Marine Corps for 5 more years. He battled through till 1979 when he retired at 23 years of service to the country. Now, when Carlos got out, he still made it his main goal in life was to be providing service in the field of sniping and general military bearing and all those kind of things. Providing a service to the military, the police, civilian sector, the government, anyone who would listen. He was instrumental in instituting the Scout Sniper program, which is still crucial today in sniping. He still traveled the country, motivational speaking, all sorts of things, just anything he could do to help others. And the Marine Corps actually honored him with 2 different shooting ranges. There's 2 different ranges named after him, multiple books, movies, The Sniper with Tom Berenger, tons of different things. Unfortunately, the multiple sclerosis actually did end up claiming his life in 1992. Now, while he may be gone, his legacy lives on. He was a legend in his own right. He did everything above and beyond, put himself before anyone else. And everything that shaped him to be the man that he is today, I call upon my viewers and listeners to draw strength from this and to attempt to be the kind of man that he was. While you may not go and fight wars, you may not be the most amazing sniper or the best shot or any of those things, but it doesn't matter. Selflessness, courage, and respect. That is what I would say you could draw from everything about Carlos Hathcock's life. This concludes my speech. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did. Thank you very much.